Salam and hello everybody. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you're all doing really well. So welcome to my latest video, which is a Ramadan food preparation video for 2021. So it's Ramadan inshallah in a couple of weeks, praying that we all get to see it inshallah. So like I do every year, I prepared a load of snacks, my usuals like samosas and kebabs and a few extra bits. So the day before I did all my food preparation, I chopped a load of onions. I hate chopping onions, so I thought I'd get it over in one go. So I basically just peeled all the onions and chopped them in my mini chopper and then put them away in some plastic containers to be used the following day in my Ramadan food prep. So the first thing I made were the samosas. So the filling was a mince and potato one. The reason I like to make the samosas first is because it's quite a big job, because I make the dough from scratch and it just takes a bit of time, so I like to get it over with before I do any of the other snacks. So all I'm doing is chopping up a load of potatoes into large chunks. And then first of all, I'm cooking the potatoes. So just add the potatoes to a pan, sprinkle over some salt, add in some cold water. So just cover the potatoes with some cold water, pop it on the hob, turn it to a high heat, bring it to the boil and then leave it for about 4 minutes. And then you just check if the potatoes are soft enough by poking a fork in them. And if the fork goes through, then they're soft enough and cooked. And then just drain them and put them to one side. The next thing I did was cook the mince. So I've got a load of mince and I'm just browning that. One hack I learned through Facebook is to use a whisk to kind of separate the mince and allow it to cook evenly. So brown the mince and drain off any excess water or dry it off, and then add in the chopped onions, garlic and ginger paste. I've put all the ingredients on screen so you can see whatever spices and stuff I've added. So even though I might not say it, whatever's on screen is what I added to my fillings and stuff. So I'm basically just adding salt and a load of spices. Once the onions have cooked down a bit, and the minced meat changes into this lovely deep brown colour. And I like to add a bit of tamarind sauce. It gives it that lovely tangy taste. And once the mince is cooked, add in the chopped potatoes. You can add some coriander. And then just mix it all together until everything is very well combined. And then once that's mixed, just pop it to one side while we work on the samosa dough. So to make the dough, just add in some plain flour, some sunflower oil, or you can use olive oil or whatever oil tickles your fancy, go on, and some water, a little bit of salt and coarse black pepper. And then just mix everything together till you get a smooth dough. If you need to add a bit more water or a bit more flour, go ahead. You want it so it's easy enough for you to knead it. So the one I was making was a little bit sticky, but it was fine. I just added extra flour as I was rolling it out with the rolling pin. So leave it to rest for about 30 minutes and then make the chapati things for the samosas. So what I like to do, if you watch my videos before, I like to part cook the samosa dough because it makes it easier to shape it. So just very lightly cook it on each side on a tawa or like a frying pan. And when you wrap the samosas, make sure the samosa chapatis are still a little bit warm, because it makes it a lot easier to wrap them. So yeah, I made the chapatis for the samosas, and I just cut them in half, and this is how I've always made them. So go ahead and copy this technique or use your own, or whatever you want to do. And to glue the samosas together, just mix some plain flour with some water. Couldn't be easier than that, really, could it? So fill the samosa cases about halfway, close them up, put a bit of the paste on, and then use a fork to just kind of hold everything together. So with this mixture, I didn't make as many samosas as I would have liked to. I think there's about, if I remember right, I think there was about 36. They were quite massive. I don't know if you can tell that, but they're quite big. They look yummy, mashallah. I wouldn't mind some right now, but it's not quite time just yet. And there they are, all nice and ready. So next I made some chicken tikka, just to like freeze a batch and then maybe use it as a meal or in some naan, or like just to kind of put it as like a mixed grill starter. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. So basically just add in whatever's on screen, some Greek yogurt, spices, lemon juice, just the usual. And then I've got some chicken breast, so I cubed the chicken breast, cut it into cubes, and then just mix that all together, pop it into a freezer bag, and that's one meal or one starter right there. Next I made a load of chicken and potato spring rolls. The kids really love these, and I guess we love them too, the adults. So like I did with the samosas, I boiled a load of chopped potatoes and put them to one side, and then for the filling I used chicken mince. So add the mince to a pan with a little bit of oil, cook it till it's white, dry off or drain off any excess water, add in your garlic and ginger paste, a little bit of tomato puree, and then salt and lots of spices. Once the chicken mince is cooked, add in the potatoes, some sweet corn, and some spring onions. Obviously you can add whatever ingredients you want. This is what I choose to add. And there it is, nice and ready. And just use the spring roll pastry sheets, put them under a damp cloth. Make your spring rolls. Why not? I used the same paste as I used for the samosas. There was some left over. So it'd be silly just to waste it, wouldn't it? And there, don't they look lovely and ready? And next I made some kebabs, something I always do for Ramadan. So lots of minced meat. I use lamb mince, some chopped red onions, garlic and ginger paste, tomato puree, an egg or two, some gram flour. If you don't have gram flour, just use plain flour. Spices, salt, lemon juice, coriander. Mix it all together. And then I like to lay down a sheet of greaseproof paper, spread the mince mixture or the kebab mixture on the sheet of paper. And this time I thought I'd put a sheet of paper on top and use a rolling pin just to make it a nice and even layer and make it a little bit quicker, which I guess it was. So to shape the kebabs, I used this cookie cutter. Obviously use a larger one than what you want your kebabs to be, because when you cook your kebabs, they do reduce in size depending on maybe the fat content in the meat. I don't know why they do it, but they do it, reduce in size. So once I've got the kebab shapes cut out, I cut around each kebab and then just stack them. I know I look really cool with my headphones. I was listening to, I think it was not an ebook. How can you listen to an ebook? An audiobook at the time. You need to pass the time somehow when you're just cooking a load of snacks for Ramadan. And Ayub was keeping me company as well. So there were all the kebabs lined up, ready to go. So another snack I decided to make, or like a starter or a side, were these mini sausage bites. So it's basically some mini sausages. If you can't get hold of these, just chop up some normal sized sausages into smaller sausages and some puff pastry, and just basically make them like that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Next thing I made was some cheesy veg pasties. This is something I'd be more into rather than the hubby and the kids. Actually, the kids might like them. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you know during Ramadan if they actually like them or not. But it's basically just some potatoes and frozen veg. So this time I boiled the potatoes and frozen veg together until they were nice and soft. Added in salt, spices, garlic and ginger paste, and then mashed that all together using a potato masher. And then I made a little bit of like cheesy white sauce. So I've got some unsalted butter, the same amount of plain flour. So mix that together until you've got a paste. And then add in some milk. So gently, like not too crazily, bring that to the boil. And then as it's coming to the boil, whisk it here and there to get rid of any lumps, and you should get like a smooth sauce like that. Add in some cheese, and there's your cheesy sauce for the veg mixture. So pour it in and mix it all together. And then I used a couple of puff pastry sheets to make the little pasties. So I froze these. When you defrost them, just pop some egg wash over the top, put them in the oven, and they'll just puff up nicely, hopefully. The last thing I made was this pakora mixture. So I love pakoras, and sometimes I can't be bothered making the mixture, so I thought I'd make a batch of pakora mix, and then when it's Ramadan I can just pull out a bag and defrost it and then use it on the day. So to these pakoras I added some carrots and potatoes and onions. So just chopped everything in the mini chopper. Makes it a lot easier and quicker. So add everything to a mixing bowl. So you've got the potatoes, the carrots, add in some chopped onion, salt, garlic and ginger paste. I added some tomato puree, some eggs, just to bind it all together, and the spices, gram flour, and then just give that all a lovely, wonderful mix. It was a little bit thick, so I added a bit of water in. And that was all ready. So I popped it into 2 big bags, and I had some pakora mixture left over to fry on the day. And there was everything ready, all our starters and snacks for Ramadan, inshallah. I pray that they last as well, because it was an effort, so it better last, inshallah. To finish off my hard work, I fried a couple of the pakoras. They tasted really nice, mashallah. I had them with a nice cup of tea. Anyway, I really hope this was useful. Have a wonderful Ramadan with your loved ones. Make the most of it, and inshallah I'll see you really soon. Take care. Salam. Bye.